Hello, beautiful Gemini souls, and welcome to your 2025 tarot forecast. This is your psychic advisor, Micah, and I am here with your tarot forecast. Coolio. So, we're just going to start talking about the descending energies, like what you're walking away from at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. Like, I'm thinking January, February, and March. And then we're going to start the reading in more depth, talking about the energies that you're experiencing in April 2025 and onward. And this reading will end in March 2026. And that's how these forecasts usually go. They're an analysis of the 12 houses, of the zodiac, or astrology, whatever you want to call it. And that's what this is. And welcome, Geminis. And I always say, too, because, like, people like cross watchers, whatever, your most dominant energy, you may not be born in the season of Gemini. You might, because of your name, or you might work in publicity because of your name. But because of your name, or because of your birthday, you might have Gemini numerology or Gemini adjacent numerology. You might be worried or concerned about your family. You may be an athlete. You might be some type of news anchor, because I was like hearing Anchorman before I started this reading, and that's actually where, like, I feel, especially on my Reddit readings, I feel the most like instantly resonating, because I'll talk about like a sound that or a song that I'm hearing before the reading. Okay. I thought I wasn't recording for a second. I was about to be upset. Alrighty, so the energies that you're walking away from is the Ten of Swords reverse. So it's like playing some game that you weren't able to beat. I think, like, what is it, like maybe like Candy Crush, or um like Miss Pac-Man or something. It's like just very difficult, and it's like meant to steal all your quarters. So the arcade, and I was watching this TikTok of this guy, and he was like cutting hair, and it was like in an arcade, and there was like kids running around, but he was like his pants were sagging, and I was just like, I don't know about getting my hair cut with someone with their pants like half hanging down, with little kids running around and stuff. But so I don't know. Maybe there's something about that, like knowing appropriate attire and clothing, because I know that that's like just fashion, And I guess I'm like making it like so egregious. And like his pants were hanging down, but like I don't know. It was a lot. So that's the energy I'm walking away from. Maybe someone getting in trouble for having their pants hanging a little bit too low. Or actually, I've watched like two videos. There was like a hairdresser, and she was like wearing some crazy outfit while she was doing hair. Okay, and then so in April 2025, what we have here is the Six of Cups, and this talks about nostalgia. I always say it's like the 1970s nostalgia, 90s nostalgia, Nickelodeon type of thing, and maybe that's what you're going for. Maybe you're trying to adopt some type of like JoJo Siwa-esque persona. And so that's the thing too, where it's like, okay, is JoJo Siwa Gemini? I don't know. Does she like vibrantly give Gemini energy? Yes. Even her like being a natural brown hair and dyeing her hair blonde is very Sagittarius, very Gemini. But so your self-esteem is going to be impacted by children. So, you might be on a platform like TikTok. As I've said in previous videos, the Ten of Swords does make me think of TikTok, and like how you death scroll and stuff like that. So, what we have here is like, you might be trying to compete with people a lot younger than you. Little kids might be making fun of you. Uh, you might be more successful like working from home, or I don't know. Like I'm super not like I don't, I'm super not into um like I always feel like people who put their children on TikTok, it's like they're exploiting them. You know what I mean? But maybe like focusing on your kids or your children or the people around you in your neighborhood might be a little bit better than having everything be solely focused on yourself. Because then it's like, so my whole thing with the cartoon thing is that even outside of the way that you look, just like wherever that you're filming or whatever it is that you're going through, there's like very little limerence or nostalgia hanging around that video or that image, you know? So, it could even be like, oh my God, I used to wear my hair in like the most like this. I used to wear like the stupidest hairstyle, and then like now I have 10,000 videos of me in this stupid hairstyle, you know. Whereas like with this stupid little cartoon, I might feel this way about this cartoon. It's like, oh, I have 10,000 videos of this little stupid like childish cartoon. Um, but just like realizing later you may not like it or something like that, or it's not your aesthetic later or any longer. And especially like a mercurial Gemini, of course, you're gonna want to change your aesthetic and your look and things like that. So the Seven of Cups, so moving right along to the season of Taurus in the month of May 2025, we have the Seven of Cups. This is actually a very profound card because I was meditating on this card earlier. As I'm always talking about cups for whatever reason, uh, it's like this card of because I was doing a reading for somebody and I was seeing it as like a card of like needing so much help. Because usually I see it as like confusion or being overwhelmed, too many options. But to me, it's like, you need a house, you need a bunch of jewelry, you need some victories, you need to defeat some demons, you need to uncover some secrets, you need to work on your self image, you need a beautiful mate. It's just like, what is it? I need a bobby pin, like Willem talks about, like, it's like a drag queen. It's like, if you're like a drag queen, you're like, I need a wig and I need heels and I need makeup and I need this. It's like, girl, do you even do drag? What are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like how are you saying that you're doing this and you don't have the things to do this with? Or like an artist being like, oh, I could make the Mona Lisa if I only had a set of paint. And it's just like, well, if you were really dedicated into that happening, you would have paint and canvas to do so. I don't understand things happen, like people steal things or whatever, and life isn't always complete. I internalize or affirm that life is fair, but there might be like caveat moments where it feels like life is unjust or unfair, or like the evil people are winning. Um, and that's a thing. So your finances, you might feel like there are people who are malevolent or maleficent, and they're just like winning left and right, and they have all this money, and you need money to work on all these things that you feel like you need to improve. Um, and the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Cups are cards of like confusion, desperation. But then when it gets to the Nine of Cups, it is this understanding that you already have everything that you need. So as I'm seeing the Six of Cups, you might just be like drinking too much and it makes you like depressed or something. But I see the Six of Cups, it's like, you might be at your childhood home or never left your hometown, or you're in a place that is like exactly the same as your hometown or exactly the same as your childhood home or wherever it is that you grew up. And you just feel like this need to change and evolve, and it's like you're like this, you were born at the finish line, or like, you're good, like you're good where you are. And it's like this drinking and kind of like wanderlust that makes you ungrateful for your present circumstances, and the present is perfect. Um, and then moving into your birth season, the season of Gemini, like maybe not necessarily your birth month, but the month of June 2025. June 2025. Sometimes YouTube breaks up the videos for me, so I try to like be very declarative of like when I'm changing to the different month or different sign or whatever in these videos. So what we have here in June 2025 is the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles, to me, it's like begging to borrow. So it's like someone who's like begging to someone might be begging to borrow your family to film something on television. Someone might be begging to borrow you to like pretend to be a member of your family or something like that. Six of Pentacles, it's like beggars, like homeless people, homies. But then I also see it as like rappers or people with like their pants hanging down. Like you would normally, typically, wouldn't see that unless it's somebody like a street person, you know what I mean? And then even people who aren't street people who dress that way, that's like sort of what they're emulating. And I don't think that's a very controversial thing to say. And I know a lot of Geminis, and I can even hear like what is it called, like ambulances and police sirens. I think it's an ambulance or a fire truck, but um, yes. So it's like someone might be begging you for 60 or 600 or $6,000 uh around your birthday, which is like really annoying, and begging to borrow. You might be begging to borrow things for your birthday. Uh, you might be giving to charity. You might be speaking about giving to charity in this month, things like that. Um, but also, I don't know, with the Six of Pentacles, I always have this understanding of like, because like I feel like the tarot is so obvious. So it's like, there might be like these bums like begging to borrow money from you, or beggars or rappers or whatever it is, and they have more coins than you do. So you're dividing up six coins. Like, I'll give three coins to this person, two coins to this person. I'll keep one coin for myself. And it's like they're already in abundance. They just might like look like street people. And okay, so that's maybe a lesson that you learn around your birthday. And the next energy that we're going to look at is the Eight of Swords reversed in the month of July 2025 in the season of Cancer. Eight of Swords reversed. So perhaps there was something that you did, or you stole something from your mother, or your mother stole something from you. What made you feel like uncomfortable to be around them? That's how I always kind of see it as like, see the Eight of Swords as extreme anxiety. Uh, so it's like this anxiety is over. You felt like you couldn't move. You could have actually been physically ill, back pain, head pain, something wrong with your eyes. And that energy is coming to a close in 2025. So, like, I don't know, maybe you've been without glasses. Maybe you've been in denial about your vision changing as you've been getting older. Even for young people, it's like they will be in denial of like them needing glasses. And I see that in August 2025, in the season of Leo, we have a lot of unnecessary social challenges and drama with the Ace of Swords. So it's something like someone being jealous of your phone. Um, Something about you might be causing someone else to drop their phone. Something that you hear or see or do, you might drop your phone. You might just need to buy a new phone. But it's like unnecessary social drama, um, unnecessary conversations, people just trying to trigger you for the sake of triggering you, just whatever. Uh, and then moving right along into the month of September. So I don't know. So like your obstacle is like avoiding these social dramas. And then moving into the month of September 2025 in the season of Virgo, which I always try to like, I don't know, more recently I've been like zooming faster to the sixth house of Virgo just to see, you know, what needs to be healed and how to heal yourself, what you can do for work. And so this says the Magician card. And I think I even did like an Instagram post or TikTok post recently saying that Gemini needs to do a return to sender. But it's like you need to do like spiritual work, you need to work on your magic, magical work, work on your magic. So it's like if you already have a job and you're not feeling very successful at it, do some magic about it. If you don't have a job, perhaps a really good job for you would be like doing voodoo and hoodoo, or even like prestidigitation, like pulling rabbits out of a hat and like magic card tricks and sawing people in half or whatever it is. Or like maybe more David Blaine type stuff, or being like somebody's lovely assistant, which is very Gemini, I think. Like, I think if anybody could be like a successful like stage magician, or rapper, or a rapper whose aesthetic is the circus and stage magicians, I think that it would be Gemini. What's his name? Azealia Banks is a Gemini. I know like Virgo is like this super rappy sign, but Azealia Banks, Kanye West, Big Boy from Outkast, I believe, or Andre 3000. You know, great people. Great, amazing people. And Andre 3000, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if he's a Gemini or an Aquarius. I forget which one he is. But he could literally start doing a stage magic show, and I know that you would all probably watch at least one episode. And so, in and this is also a really good place to look at October, the month of October 2025, in the season of Libra. So, I always look at August or Leo season as the obstacle. The obstacle here is unnecessary social drama. There might be some like Taurus out there or King of Pentacles that you're just like, I'm going to do better than him. Or a Leo that you're like, I'm going to outdo them. And they're like, why is this person who's sitting next to me? Or there used to be this show called Boiling Points on MTV where it's like they would go and kind of like harass people in public, and I think like Lady Gaga was on episode or something, and it's like this woman on an elliptical, and she's just like, I'm beating you, I'm beating you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm beating you. And you might be caught in that, like someone might be sending that energy towards you, trying to make you reach your boiling point. Or you may be the troll that is trying to pull that energy out in other people. And then what's going to help you is that in September, you're going to get back into Hermeticism, and probably even just like have the tools to do magic and work on like strengthening like your inventory of magical items, which will help you with work and it'll help you with money and your finances and your health and all those things. So if you're like in poor health, um, magic is the answer. So if you're watching this in like November or December of 2024, and I'm like doing magic or doing a return to sender in September of 2025 will help you, then you could also just like jump in front of, the trauma or the drama and do it now or before then, maybe in January of 2025. I guess it's just like similar, like Earth energy or whatever. It's like the most soon Earth energy, or even December 20, or yeah, December, January of 2024, 2025. Just to get ahead of whatever unnecessary social drama is going to be hitting you in August between you and this Leo. And that's the whole magic of like looking into the future and doing tarot. And so I see that in Oh yeah. Okay, so like I also said that this is like a good place that I like to look is the seventh house, the month of October, because I would say this is like what you're attracting. And I'm a huge believer in manifestation, so I love to look at the Libra house and be like, okay, what is being brought into my life? So for Gemini, you might have been like very overwhelmed by children, by people begging things from you, people doing magic on you, unnecessarily social drama, that you're trying to attract more alone time because I see the moon here and it's like you might go into like deep isolation. You might be forced into deep isolation um, to study Hermeticism, like I said, because the face of the hermit's on the moon card. You might buy two dog, like a freaking coyote and like a Doberman Pinscher or something like that, and just like go off on your own or live more like how like the Pisces that you're so attracted to lives. But I see in November 2025, what you truly desire is to not be wrapped up in the moon energy, but in the energy of the Empress. So in the season of Scorpio, around Halloween and things like that. Like, you might dress up like Cher or Madonna, or some type of like biblical figure. And that's who you really want to be. You really, like, not necessarily actually Marie Antoinette, uh, and then, Coupe La Tête, but um, you might want to be more ethereal, like a queen or a singer. So it's like, you might, like Azealia Banks or something, you know what I mean? Like you might have wanted to be a rapper in the past, and now you're like, I want to be a beautiful singer. Um, and then, and you will be, because like singing is a really good way to call in manifestation. It's really deep magic. So if you're a person who never sings, or like never even sings in the shower, is embarrassed to sing, you feel like you have a bad voice, you don't put your songs out there, it's limiting your abilities. And you don't necessarily need to be like on SoundCloud or to be on the street corner having people hear you sing. Just doing it alone by yourself is powerful enough. I think that it is a different type and another level of magic to go and sing in front of other people. And maybe that's part of what you want as well. Um, and you'll get there if that's what you're supposed to do. Which I see that. So this is like the thing too. With I always say, you can look in the future and you can avoid things, right? Like, you can get a tarot card reading, and I'm like, oh hey, um, in August, in August 2025, there's going to be a low hanging bar. So if you're like riding your bike through some scaffolding, just like, make sure to duck, right? And then the story, instead of you getting like whacked in the forehead, is the news story is like, oh my God, I almost got whacked in the forehead by a low hanging bar, but Tarot Bay told me in August that I should duck my head when I go under scaffolding. And and then in November 2025, you'll have this opportunity to be like the big brazen diva that you want to be. It could also be a marriage. You could also be like getting married. That could also be like wearing a wedding dress and getting married and being a bride. I just don't see like a groom here per se. I see a King of Wands reverse in the center of your reading 2025. So you might be like a runaway bride or something, or he might be a runaway groom. You might want to be a wedding singer. I love The Wedding Singer. I love Drew Barrymore. I love The Wedding Singer. I love Adam Sandler. I don't think any of those people are Geminis. I don't think any of those people are Geminis astrologically, like I said, but they could have like Gemini numerology. You never know. But so that's a theme going on for Gemini in November. You might want to sing at your own wedding or something weird like that. Things like Geminis do weird performative douchebag things like that. And then moving into December 2025, we have the Ten of Cups reversed. So as I was talking about the Six of Cups and the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Cups, you have the Ten of Cups reversed. So it's like, you might not be the type of person that wants to pack up into a van and move to California and have the only times that are dancing and singing is when like your hippie commune is having some type of like moon ritual. That might not be your vibe. You might be like wanting to live in New York, or in Oslo, or someplace that's really like trendy and fast. Um, instead of like in Vancouver or in Oklahoma, like I said, on some like hippie commune farm, singing Godspell. But maybe it'll have more appeal if it's like in a different country. Like, I don't know. Like just looking at these cards, maybe if you go and do the hippie commune that you could literally do down the road in Colorado or in Venezuela or in Jakarta or something like that, it'll feel like deeper, more meaningful, and more spiritual to you. But like I said with the Nine of Cups, everything that you're after, the glowing ashram in the sky, is right in your backyard. And I think that's maybe something that you are angry about in December 2025, something that you're discovering or something that you're starting to work on. But I see that throughout this entire year, it's like you want to be alone. You most certainly don't want to be around your family. And when I started off this reading, I was like, you might be like a family guy. You like might really like your family. So you were watching a Gemini video because Gemini is about environment and family, and communication. And you're like, no, I hate my family. I'm not a family guy. What if they made like a Quagmire spin-off of Family Guy that was like not a family guy, and it's just about him hating dogs and being a louse? And then what is this? In January 2026 actually, so we're way off into the future, guys. We're like super far out. Experiencing Capricorn energies in the Capricorn season, January 2026. Doing these videos have me so confused in my day to day life, because I keep writing down the date 2025 in 2026, and it's still 2024, and maybe should not have started this. But yeah, so we have the strength card here. You might join a gym. You're gonna be working on your sacral chakra. I always say that the sacral chakra is like your abdomen. So, you might be having this wedding coming up that you want to like sing and do TikTok dances at and be half naked with your pants hanging down, like a rapper. And you're in unconditional alignment with this wedding or this celebration, and everything that's going on. It's like, your princess, it feels like being Princess Peach, and it's like that Mario is gonna come to get you in um November 2025, and it's like, oh, okay, look my best for when Mario and Luigi show up, and so it's like watch out for this low hanging bar, walking under scaffolding, like make sure to duck, so you don't have like a huge whack mark on your forehead, and then I guess like don't worry so much about your abdomen and your belly and things like that. You might be pregnant. You know what I mean? You might get pregnant. Empress card, pregnant. What do we got here? Six of Cups. We don't have the sun here, but like Six of Cups. Empress talk about pregnancy. You might be pregnant with an idea. You might be wanting to buy a new dog. Things like that. Whatever. But so I always say the sacral chakra is the abdomen, but it's actually like the pelvis, like the fupa, if you will, the fat of the whatever area. It's like that area. So it's like worry. So it's like being worried about that. So I guess I don't know. Yoga is like the only thing I can think of, but it's like doing exercises to heal that area is going to be a really big thing for you in January. Perhaps doing squats. I don't know. I'm not a personal trainer. Perhaps you need to talk to one. Um, Perhaps you might be getting married to a personal trainer, and you're gonna like leave him at the altar or leave him in January because you get your body together. Uh, so that's what I see the strength card. Strength card I also see is like a grizzly bear or like a lion or like a really big animal. And whenever I do a reading and I see that, that seems kind of like very unlikely or impossible. Um, but those exist, so things happen, and you might have an interaction with one in January 2026. And then in February 2026, you might be thinking about how you would rather have a smaller animal, because I'm seeing the Page of Pentacles here, which is always my card of like a mouse or a cat. Could be a chinchilla or a child. It could even be like a kid or a goat. But it's something that brings money. It could be like a pig, like that finds truffles, like a truffle finding pig. Or I don't know. What I just thought about was like Dragon Ball Z and Super Saiyans. Like, what if there was a Saiyan named Truffles? I know like a lot of people have OCs of like Brussels sprouts and other things like that. But like, I feel like a mushroom Super Saiyan would be apropos. I don't know. And even the Page of Pentacles hat sort of looks like a mushroom. And I was watching this like TikTok of like Mario put into like a Renaissance painting style, and the mushroom guys, what are they? Toad. He was like he was a page boy, and so I mean, you could even be like a pet frog. You could find a frog. It also reminds me of like the WB frog. You might have a friend that's like the WB frog, who is really good at singing and dancing in private, but is not such a good person on stage that might be able to help you. And I see that in March of 2026, in the season of Pisces, we have the Judgment card. So if you've been having like a really shitty reputation, which I feel like a lot of Geminis don't always, they're very polarizing people, and that's why they get along with Scorpio so well. I see that a Pisces can bring a lot of healing to your reputation. You may not even be aware that you have a bad reputation. You may be only aware of like the positivity and the praise around you. And I see that if you are wanting to reconcile with a Scorpio or a Pisces, that will be more possible or more likely in March 2026, probably around their birthday. You can give them like a birthday gift or something. They're like, I guess they'll be a sucker for that. But But that also could mean like a hurricane or some type of like natural disaster where people are in need of like relief or aid or like FEMA or something. So you might be like coming to them like because your house got swept away and your girlfriend got hit in the head with a grocery cart or something crazy like that. Which is like stuff I hear in meditation, and I'm just like, oh my god, like how could someone get hit in the head with a grocery cart? And I'm like, oh yeah, hurricane. Um, what else was I gonna say? I mean, you could even just like start voguing and like start voguing to that song, like the Hurricane Katrina, 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 or whatever, or have like make a video with a Pisces doing that. Um, reconcile. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, and so like I said, with like I don't know, maybe there's a Virgo that you want to reconcile with. Maybe there's a Virgo that you want to reconcile with. Maybe there's another Gemini that you want to reconcile with. A Scorpio. So what I see here is that you want to reconcile with a Virgo, a Pisces, a Scorpio, and another Gemini. And the way that you're able to do that is with magic doing a return to sender. And I see, I guess, that, if you don't go ahead and do it tomorrow after listening to this video, um, like you'll be like forced to or finally convinced to by September 2025, which I'm just like, okay, you can wait until someone twist and breaks your arm to get this stuff done, or you can just get it handled right now. Uh, and if you need these other people back into your life while you're listening to this video, like um, I also want to say that the Page of Pentacles, I guess, is Aladdin too, and so is the Six of Pentacles. But if you want to be like one step ahead of everybody or one jump ahead, you could start this reconciliation with this Pisces now or in March of 2025 rather than March of 2026. And I'm pretty sure Pisces will intuitively give you the message of how to do that and how to accomplish that. And so what I see that you're heading towards, so like throughout the rest of 2026, after March and everything, is the Six of Wands reversed. So the Six of Wands reverse is like, as the Six of Swords is my card of like positive affirmation. Like you might be in the middle of a storm and you're like, we're gonna get through this storm. We're gonna get through this storm, and we're gonna go home and we're gonna eat meat and potatoes and rice, and it's gonna be so good, and we're gonna be dry, and we're gonna get off this boat, and like like because you're in the middle of like a shit storm. So you like need positive affirmation. You're like, oh, everybody smells like mackerel. Like let me light some incense. Positive affirmation, until we get off this ship. I feel like the Six of Wands is like when your life is really good. Like we just defeated the Romans. We captured the flag. We won the Super Bowl. Um, all those things. But then you're like, oh, I'm such a loser. Oh God, like, number 77. He scored all the touchdowns, and um, so and so is bigger than me, and so and so gets more miles per hour when they're driving their NASCAR. I don't know sports so great. Like whatever that is, like, oh, I'm such a loser. I'm such a loser. And it's like, okay, like, don't you remember when you were in that boat that had the leak in it and you were like 100% going to die and you lived and used positive affirmations to get from point A to point B? So it's like when you're standing there as an Olympian and you have a bronze medal on instead of the silver or gold that you felt like you deserved so much. Use that same energy. Don't wait to be in a boat with a hole in it. Be standing there as an Olympian with a bronze medal on, being like, you know what? Next year I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna get the silver. I'm gonna score more touchdowns. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. Like if you're, I don't know sports at all. Like all my sports references are so old. But like maybe you're Dan Schneider or whoever owns the Redskins. I'm sure it's not him anymore. You're like, like I've been a Redskins fan, or what do you call them? Commanders. I'm so sorry. Like I'm a Commanders fan. I've been a Commanders fan my entire life. They've never won a Super Bowl. I'm just gonna keep on pushing forward. We were such winners. We did so well last year. We really could have gone all the way. There's like little tiny mistakes. And as delusional as that may sound, just remember when you're there, because it's like you might be losing. like I said, like playing some game that you can't win, like TikTok, like not knowing that not even like the algorithm is fake or real or whatever, but they're just like assigning random numbers. Like they've already generated how many views and likes and comments they're going to allow you to receive based on the quality of your content before you've even posted anything. And they might even be like toying with you and other weird stuff, like to just be aware that like people aren't honest. Because I don't even think it's like undercover shade. I think it's like well known shade. And maybe somebody only is as inconsistent of me can be aware of these things, but like I'll be uploading a short onto YouTube, and I think all of my shorts are like fire, like firecracker, gonna be like 10 billion views and amazing. And so like I'll be making the whatever, and then I'll get to the part where I'm about to post, and it'll be like, oh, did you want to post this as private? And I'm like, no, why would I post this short as private? I was like, who sent you? You know what I mean? Like did Tiffany New York Pollard send you? Like, are you here to destroy me and my hairline right now? Um, and then some other times where like I've like taken my time and have really done some really nice work, it'll suggest that it's post as public. And I'm like, oh, they're definitely reading the content before it's posted. So it could be that, it could be like I said, some frog game like Frogger or Miss Pac-Man or Tetris, and it's just like eventually they just speed up the game so fast that you cannot beat it or you cannot win. It's not because you're not smart, but if you can't see that, maybe you aren't smart. So like it's simply 5 minutes later. Sorry, it just says like stop calling yourself a loser. Because you're not. And even if you are a Commanders fan or a New York Knicks fan or some sports team that traditionally has been losing for the past 6 or 60 years, um, you're not them. And even when they're winning, you're not them. So just relax and say good things about yourself. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. This is basically what you can expect in your own tarot forecast. You can get a personalized 2025 tarot forecast available on my website. But the thing about the tarot forecast is that you don't necessarily have to use it for future predictions. You can use it on people and individuals, situations. Maybe you're thinking about getting married to like a wedding singer or a bartender or something like that, and you're like, how's that gonna go? Maybe you're already planning to be this runaway bride, and you're like, how do I get away from this person once I run away from them? And you can like do the spread on an individual or like an event or a situation, whatever, what have you. Um, and that's it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.